In the quaint college town of Normal, Illinois, as graduation approaches, the community is left in shock after a college student mysteriously disappears. Just weeks before she is set to walk across the stage with hopes of one day becoming a doctor, she vanishes without a trace, plunging her friends and family into panic. How could someone with such a brilliant future disappear without a trace? It's a mystery that leaves us wondering what could have possibly happened, and what happens when love becomes fatal. This is a Fatal Attraction podcast with Nightmare on Campus.
October 15th, 2005. It's Saturday afternoon in Normal, Illinois, a college town 2 hours southwest of Chicago.
20,000 students attend Illinois State University, and that represents about 50% of the people that live in Normal.
There is a party atmosphere, students hanging out, enjoying that unique time of life.
But this Saturday, ISU student Britney Jordan isn't partying. She's searching for a friend and fellow student named Olamide Adeyoye.
Britney became really concerned because she missed work at a local cafe where she was a waitress.
She was known to maybe not answer phone calls or get back with people, but she would never have missed a work shift without proper notification.
Britney called a couple times, no answer, and finally wanted to go to the house to see if anything was wrong.
Britney asked one of her friends to go with her.
When they reach Olamide's door, it appears that someone is home.
They can hear a TV on inside.
Ola, you in there?
They knock on the door, but nobody answers.
Oh, here.
What are you doing?
She knew that there was a window that was kept unlocked at the apartment, and they entered through the window.
Oh, great. Go on.
The lights were on. The television was still playing.
Ola! Not funny!
Let me go check back there.
Ola's purse was there. The cell phone was there.
But there's no Ola.
This didn't make sense. Why would she leave her purse, her wallet, her phone?
Oh my God, Britney, she's not back there.
It was almost as if she had disappeared into thin air.
They checked the phone. There's more than 60 unanswered messages and calls.
Just keeps going.
It didn't add up.
That's not like her.
Something terrible must have happened to her friend.
Olamide Adeyoye had a fun and tenacious spirit.
She was popular, lots of friends, but focused.
She was focused on her classwork and getting into medicine.
She was driven to succeed.
It was the same drive that led her family to emigrate from Nigeria in the first place.
Her parents wanted to bring her over so that she was able to get the education and live the best life.
As an undergrad at Illinois State, Olamide was on an advanced track.
She was pursuing a double major in biology and laboratory science.
She was on track to become a doctor.
Although she also enjoyed what life on campus had to offer.
I'm so glad it's the weekend.
She enjoyed going to parties, and she really had a good time with the social scene on campus.
It was at one campus party that Olamide first met Robbie Walker.
Robbie played in an alternative rock band. He was highly popular on campus, always had the women chasing after him. But he fell for Olamide.
So crazy, we actually have a show on Thursday. You ought to come out.
I have a test on Friday, but I'll try.
Ola and Robbie really hit it off.
They were attracted to each other. They started spending a lot of time together, and they fell in love. Although they seemed like opposites, there was chemistry there.
They were living two different lives, and I think that's probably why it worked for them.
But by the fall of 2005, their different lives were taking them in different directions.
Robbie's band was taking off.
Yeah, check this out. Just finished a new graphic for our tour dates.
Oh my gosh, it's so amazing.
We got the whole setup.
He started doing shows at other universities.
With the band blowing up, Robbie put school on hold and committed to music full-time.
This kind of caused a little problem for Ola because she couldn't go with him.
I was wondering, you think you can make it to some of the tour dates?
I don't know, Robbie. I need to stay here and really focus on graduation. I'm so close.
It caused a strain on their relationship.
Not even maybe one?
Robbie was all about the music, but she's here for school.
Which meant that Ola had to make a choice.
She's starting to wonder, is this for me?
I'll just talk to you later.
But now, a little more than 2 months from graduation, Olamide has disappeared.
Ola's friends came into the apartment and they could not find her.
They noticed that the TV was on, Ola's purse was there, the cell phone was there, and there were 60 missed calls.
Britney is alarmed.
So she decides to call the police.
I'd like to report a missing person.
Okay, stay with me.
Police respond to the call.
I see them, they're here.
But they don't initially see any cause for alarm.
There didn't seem to be signs of a struggle.
My friend's house.
Officers might think Ola had spent the night somewhere and just failed to communicate with any of her close friends.
But then, the officers make their way to Olamide's bedroom.
They find this pile of laundry, and it seems a little bit suspicious.
As they move everything out the way, they see blood stains.
It was very obvious that something bad had happened in that apartment.
As time goes on, the feeling of unease intensifies and the quest for clarity grows even more urgent. Stay with us as we uncover the truth. This is a Fatal Attraction podcast.
A little more than 2 months before graduating college, Olamide Adeyoye had a bright future ahead of her as a doctor.
She was very smart. She was a hard worker. There's absolutely no doubt that she would have excelled in her field.
But will the 21-year-old walk at her graduation?
Olamide had missed work, and friends hadn't been able to reach her for the past couple of days.
What would the reason be for Ola not being around or checking with someone or calling?
The answer could have something to do with the bloodstain police just found inside her apartment.
It appeared that someone attempted to clean up the bloodstain and had poured bleach on the stain.
After the bleach didn't work, they had tried to cover this up with a pile of clothes.
Now at this point, it's no doubt that Olamide may have been harmed.
We're gonna need them for a situation, please.
Officers at the scene call in detectives, who uncover more disturbing clues.
They were able to actually find a trail of blood leading from Olamide's bedroom through her apartment.
They follow the blood stains and they go all the way out the house, through the back to where Ola's car should have been.
But when they got there, Olamide's car was missing.
Detectives collect samples of the blood for testing. but they already suspect it's Olamide's.
Investigators believed that Olamide had been seriously injured in her apartment and then had been placed into the trunk of her own car.
But if she was harmed, where could she be? Who could have possibly done this?
Detectives hope someone in the neighborhood can give them some insight.
Detectives, if they have a scene that they think may be a crime scene, they do a canvass.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Can we ask you a couple questions?
Yes, sure.
They're asking if they have seen anything suspicious or seen anyone that may have been walking out near Ola's unit.
Got some questions about your neighbor, Ola?
Most of the neighbors don't know anything.
But one neighbor does have information that could prove crucial to establishing a timeline.
Around 10:45 p.m. on October 13th, he was walking past her apartment and he thought he heard a faint scream.
He said he really didn't think anything of it at the time.
He went on home and went about his business. But now, in light of the fact that the police were canvassing the area, he indicates this is probably something you should be aware of.
After canvassing the neighborhood, detectives sit down with Olamide's friend, Britney Jordan.
She's the one who actually went into the apartment, found the phone, called the police.
I could only imagine that she is going through all the different scenarios of what may have happened to her friend. This is her ex-roommate. This is one of her good friends. So I'm sure that she was scared.
I know this is hard. But is there anyone you can think of that might wanted to hurt Ola?
No. Everyone loved her.
Britney said she was so likable and got along with most anyone that she met.
However, she does mention Ola had recently gone through a breakup.
Her and her boyfriend, Robbie, I mean, he's a nice guy, but they just broke up.
Britney brings up that Robbie and Olamide have had some difficulties.
Robbie's in a band, and they're getting pretty big.
Robbie couldn't stay in town. His band had to travel. On the other hand, Ola couldn't go on the road. She was studying to become a doctor. So Ola eventually made the decision that they would have to split up.
Did the breakup lead to bad blood between them?
The police immediately asked, is this, Robbie someone who would have done anything to Olamide or would have hurt her?
He wasn't happy about the breakup, but he really cared about Ola.
I'll just see you later.
She said the breakup wasn't like that. It was actually pretty amicable. It was just that their lives were taking different paths.
He was pretty upset when she moved on so quickly, though.
She then tells police that Ola, in fact, had met another guy.
His name is Philip Harris.
Britney tells the detectives Philip hooked up with Ola right after the breakup with Robbie.
He was actually a classmate of Britney's in the criminal justice department.
In fact, it was Britney who introduced Olamide to Philip.
So she's dating Philip now?
Not exactly.
Britney does tell police that they went out, but that Olamide was upset with Philip because apparently he had dissed her, that he stopped calling her.
He pretty much ghosted her, and she wasn't happy about that.
She thought that he was just out for a quick hookup.
But according to Britney, Ola may have figured Philip all wrong.
All of a sudden, they have started talking again.
They were supposed to get together the night that Olamide went missing.
She told me that he was going to call her on Thursday around 8 o'clock.
Detectives are on the hunt. Stay with us as we unravel the truth on the Fatal Attraction podcast.
Olamide Adeyoye's friend, Britney Jordan, has just told detectives that after breaking up with her boyfriend, the missing Illinois State University student was seeing someone new.
She says that Olamide had recently started dating Philip Harris.
Olamide was planning on seeing Philip on the night she disappeared.
So police are now very interested in talking to Philip.
I'll walk you out.
When detectives ask Philip to come in for questioning, he doesn't appear at all surprised.
He's aware that Ola is missing, and he thought that detectives might be giving him a call.
And why is that?
Because me and her hooked up.
He was very upfront and didn't seem overly nervous.
Was it more than just a one-night thing?
Well, thought it had potential, but nah, it was just the one time.
And why is that?
She wasn't ready.
He said she still had feelings for Robbie.
He decided he didn't want to get caught up in a rebound situation with her and her previous boyfriend.
But detectives aren't convinced.
But weren't you supposed to meet up with her again on Thursday?
Yeah, against my better judgment.
They made arrangements to have a date and see each other.
But according to Philip, when he called her up at 10 that night, she'd backed out at the last minute.
Philip said that when he did call Ola, she really wasn't up to it, that she was going to get a couple movies and just stay in for the night.
She, in fact, told him she didn't want to see him.
So that made you mad?
Nah, like I said, it's better to not mess around with a rebound.
He tells them he never, in fact, ever spoke with Olamide again.
But Philip says that wasn't the end of his night.
So what'd you do instead?
I went out, hit a couple bars.
What time did you get home?
I didn't.
Philip says he met another young lady, and he went to that young lady's apartment.
When detectives contact the young woman, Philip's story appears to check out.
She confirms she met him in the bar, he came over and ended up spending the night.
But she adds one detail that gives detectives pause.
Philip didn't actually get to the bar until midnight.
According to Philip, it was 10 o'clock when he called Olamide and she canceled their plans.
That would give him more than enough time to go to her apartment before going to the bar.
All right, we'll get back to you.
While detectives subpoena Philip's phone records to uncover his movements on the night of the murder, word of Olamide's disappearance is spreading on campus.
It was a very scary time for everybody.
No one knows what possibly could have happened, but more importantly, they don't know if the attacker is still right there on campus.
While some students are busy looking over their shoulders, others are doing everything they can to find Olamide.
Her friends start to make flyers and post them up all over the campus.
The Black Student Union at Illinois State University actually held a candlelight vigil for Olamide for her safe return.
And Olamide's friend Britney is keeping everyone updated on the search via a stream of posts on her MySpace page.
At this point, this is the beginning of social media, but people still really want to try to find out where was Ola.
Waiting on Philip's phone records, detectives move to the next name on their list, Olamide's ex-boyfriend.
Could Robbie have become jealous about her seeing somebody else?
Hello?
But when detectives ask him to come in for an interview, Robbie says he can't.
When they call, they discover that he's in Baltimore.
He's on a gig with the band.
I've been on the East Coast since Monday.
Okay.
There's no way Robbie could have done this. He was out of town during the time that she would have disappeared.
And ever since hearing Ola was missing, Robbie says he's been worried sick about her safety.
I couldn't have imagined what happened to her. It doesn't make sense.
Hoping he can help, detectives ask Robbie about Philip, but he has little information.
So you heard of this new guy, she had around Philip?
I honestly don't know the guy.
He also says that he wasn't concerned about her starting to date somebody else, and he wasn't surprised by it either. She was beautiful, smart, and popular.
Robbie also has information that appears to confirm some of Philip's story.
He said the day she went missing, she told him that she was going to just stay in, relax, and watch some movies.
Philip had also told police that Olamide had said the same thing to him.
But when police ask who else might have reason to hurt Olamide, Robbie says something that could turn the investigation on its head.
He brings up, well, have you guys looked further into Britney?
Britney was the supposed best friend who gone looking for Olamide in the first place.
Okay.
Why would Britney have gone above and beyond to bring to light this disappearance if she is the one who caused it?
According to Robbie, the answer was easy.
She's straight up crazy.
Stay tuned for more of the Fatal Attraction podcast.
Olamide Adeoye's ex-boyfriend, Robbie Walker, has just told detectives that her supposed best friend, Britney Jordan, may know what happened to the missing college student.
This was a good friend who was concerned about Olamide. Now they're hearing that Britney may have possibly had a motive to do harm to Olamide.
He told police that they had a falling out about a week and a half before she went missing.
He tells them the two of them had a fight, that Olamide didn't want anything to do with Britney. But more surprisingly, he used the word crazy to describe Britney. She was someone who partied all the time. She always drank.
She's straight up crazy.
According to Robbie, that eventually led to trouble with Olamide.
Y'all can't be ganging up on me like that, though. It's not funny.
She is hilarious.
I got you a drink. Brittany, I told you I'm not drinking. I have a test tomorrow. What is wrong with you? No, I'm not even gonna let loose. I have a test tomorrow.
Britney started going a little bit too wild out there, and she just could not do it.
Robbie says that with graduation approaching and her grades slipping, Olamide had sent Britney an email.
She told Britney, we can't be friends anymore. You have to go.
Had Olamide's email pushed her volatile friend over the edge?
Police asked Robbie, do they believe Britney could have hurt her? He says he wasn't sure.
However, Robbie says that Britney has been acting strange since Ola's disappearance.
She's been on MySpace posting at first what seemed to be concerned pictures and posters regarding Olamide's disappearance.
Then it became all about Britney. It seemed like she was fishing for sympathy. She reported how she was experiencing her friend possibly being missing and hurt.
Like you should feel bad about her losing her friend more than her friend Ola actually being gone.
Talking with Robbie leaves detectives with plenty of questions about Britney.
Why didn't Britney bring up the fact that she and her former roommate had gotten into this big fight?
Okay, thank you.
Maybe Britney knew more than what she was letting on.
When Britney agrees to come in for a second interview, the detective confronts her about what he's learned.
I heard you and Ola had a fight.
Well, it was more of a misunderstanding.
They had gone out drinking, and Ola told her her lifestyle was too much. She was too wild, and Ola had other goals.
You never take anything seriously. Like, I can't deal with you. Gosh.
Olamide wanted to just focus on her studying.
Did that upset you?
No. I could see where she was coming from.
She is really thinking that Olamide is going to get over this.
She was wrong.
Britney admits that she received an email from Ola saying that they were no longer going to be friends.
And in this email, she states that Britney has really gotten out of hand, and Olamide doesn't need this chaos in her life.
It was like everything was my fault. Like I made her go out and have fun.
However, Britney says she was determined to make amends.
She decided to make her friend a CD.
You know, songs I knew she liked. Songs that we used to listen to.
Like a peace offering.
Sorta.
After burning the CD, Britney had taken it to Olamide's apartment. But when she knocked on the door, there was no answer.
The door was unlocked, so she decided to go in.
Ola?
She lets herself into the apartment, and she hears that Olamide is in the shower. So she just leaves the CD with the note.
The way Britney tells it, she was just trying to make things right. But to the detective, her actions are revealing.
There's definitely some sort of a pattern with lacking boundaries.
Which raises another question.
They asked Britney straight up, were you more than just friends? Was this sexual?
No. It was nothing like that.
However, Britney says the detective isn't the only one who's had questions about her friendship with Ola.
Britney says people often mistook their friendship for them being in a romantic relationship.
In fact, Britney says that when she was living with Ola, one of their neighbors was all but obsessed with the idea that the roommates were lovers.
She says there was a neighbor who went by the name of Maurice, who oftentimes teased her about her relationship with Olamide.
Hey, y'all need some help?
No, we're good, thanks.
He kept saying stuff about us making out, stuff like that.
This guy was a neighbor?
Yeah.
Britney said she didn't know that much about him, just that Maurice lived in the same off-campus complex as Olamide.
But he isn't a college student.
He would always come to parties and just kind of hang out, uninvited. He was 27 years old, so he obviously was older than all the other people there.
He's just this creepy guy.
What y'all got going on later?
Maurice would suddenly just show up at their door. Sometimes he would be asking to borrow something. Sometimes he would ask to snuggle with them.
Snuggle?
Like I said, dude was creepy.
Know where to find me.
Stay with us as we uncover the truth. This is a Fatal Attraction podcast.
Olamide Adeoye's friend, Britney, has just told police concerning information about one of Ola's neighbors.
He's this creepy older guy. He's about 27 years old.
He wasn't a student, but he was always going to parties, drinking, being overly sexual and inappropriate.
According to Britney, his name is Maurice Wallace.
Maurice piques the detectives' curiosity. But at this point, they're kind of wondering whether Britney is just trying to point them in a different direction.
We're still going to need to know where you were on Thursday.
I was bartending until 1:30 a.m. and a friend drove me home. I swear.
All right, thank you. You can follow me.
After talking with Britney, detectives contact the friend that supposedly drove her home.
They find out she was telling the truth.
All right, let's hit it.
After confirming her alibi, they move on to confirm the rest of Britney's story.
They go out to the apartment complex to learn more about this Maurice Wallace.
But when detectives knock on Maurice's door, there's no answer.
One of the neighbors comes out and they ask when the last time that the neighbor has seen Maurice.
It's been about a week.
He disappeared the day after Olamide had disappeared.
Was that simply a coincidence? Or is there a connection?
Appreciate you, ma'am.
Sure.
Hoping to learn more about Maurice, the detectives pull his criminal record.
They find that he had a pretty hefty history with police, mostly petty stuff, but he did serve 4 months in prison for assault.
Several years before, Maurice had physically attacked a taxi driver.
The background check also reveals a pattern of aggressive behavior toward women.
He had a history of sexually harassing females.
He allegedly groped a female student at a party, and when people asked him to leave, he made some threats.
Luckily, it did not escalate to violence, but the authorities were involved. And Maurice had actually been banned from Illinois State University's campus.
The Student Affairs Office sent Maurice what's known as a persona non grata letter.
Persona non grata is a warning, we don't want you around.
Sending the letter also gave the police authority to arrest him for trespassing if they found him on campus again.
But now police can't find him off campus either.
What they decided to do was to pull his phone records and his credit card records.
The credit card transactions give detectives a lead on his whereabouts.
They see through his credit card records that he had stopped right outside of Illinois and purchased gasoline on the night of Olamide's disappearance.
Then it shows he purchased more gas in Mississippi.
So he leaves Illinois, he travels through Mississippi, and now they know that he's in Atlanta, Georgia.
The strange thing is, according to all records, Maurice doesn't own a car.
So how is he getting to Mississippi and Georgia?
For detectives, the answer is simple.
He had more than likely disappeared in Olamide's vehicle.
But a call to Atlanta police on October 20th reveals that Maurice is no longer on the run.
Maurice is in custody there on an unrelated charge.
They say when they found Maurice, he was in a rental car.
This car was actually stolen. He had rented it, but he had not returned it. The car was considered stolen at this point.
But during booking, Atlanta police revealed they had discovered Maurice in possession of another set of keys.
In addition to the keys to the rental, he also had a Toyota key on him when police arrested him, which was the same make as Olamide's missing vehicle.
Although when they asked him whose keys they were, Maurice refused to say.
Maurice is not cooperating at all.
And detectives are no closer to finding Olamide.
Obviously, at this point, Olamide is not with Maurice.
But as detectives make their way to Atlanta hoping to locate her, authorities in Mississippi may be closer. On October 21st, one day after Maurice is arrested in Atlanta, a farmer in rural Newton County is cleaning up the fire-gutted remains of his barn.
The fire initially is thought to be arson.
But the ashes will reveal a far worse crime.
He discovers a very badly burned body.
They were the remains of a young black female.
Stay with us as we unravel the truth on the Fatal Attraction podcast.
The day after Maurice Wallace was arrested in Atlanta for stealing a rental car, A farmer in Mississippi has made a gruesome discovery.
Cleaning up after a suspected arsonist had torched a barn on his property, he found the badly burned body of a young woman.
Can you send somebody out here?
Her remains were so badly burned that she was not able to be identified just by looking at her.
Although when he contacts the local authorities, the body is turned over to the medical examiner for an answer.
Investigators checked with dental records, and it was confirmed that these were the burned remains of Olamide Adeyoye.
Multiple stab wounds was the cause of death, and that she had been dead sometime before the fire took place.
However, the autopsy fails to find any DNA or other forensic evidence that connects Maurice to the murder.
They need evidence, hard evidence.
At this point, the case against him was entirely circumstantial.
But will that change when police in Atlanta locate Ola's missing car?
Her car had been abandoned in a residential neighborhood.
Once they had the car at the crime lab, police settled one question immediately.
The key found with Maurice Wallace is a match for her car.
But that's not the only thing they find to connect Maurice to the murder.
There was a bloody fingerprint on the rearview mirror.
Not only does the blood come back confirmed to match Olamide, but the fingerprint comes back matching Maurice Wallace. They now know that they have their killer.
Based on the forensic evidence, the prosecutors in Illinois charge Maurice with Ola's murder.
They believe he went to her apartment the night she was watching movies.
Ola. Hey.
Hey.
Ola, I just wanted to know, can I ask you a favor?
It's very likely that Olamide would open the door, not thinking at all that her life was in imminent danger.
He came in and probably made some kind of advances.
So what about that movie?
What are you talking about? Come on. Stop touching me.
I've been seeing
Get
you.
your hands. Stop.
They got into a fight.
Maurice, go home.
Come on.
Please.
And he stabs her.
What, you think you're better than me? You think you're better than me?
It's believed that Olamide was killed pretty quickly after Maurice gained entrance into her apartment.
But while prosecutors believe they have a clear chance at a conviction, it's uncertain if Maurice will ever stand trial.
When Maurice got back to Illinois, investigators described his behavior as very bizarre. He was nonsensical. He talked almost nonstop.
He's really showing all levels of a mental breakdown.
Before moving forward, the judge orders a full psychiatric evaluation.
When you're trying to figure out if somebody is mentally competent, you have to ask yourself, do they know the difference between right or wrong?
If he was truly incompetent, could he try to cover up the blood stain? Could he try to take the car and go to Mississippi?
He even had the idea to burn the body to try to make her unidentifiable. That is a lot of sophisticated thinking, and that shows that he understood what he did was wrong.
So Maurice Wallace, despite all his erratic behavior, he's found to be competent and able to stand trial.
But that doesn't mean he'll ever come before a jury.
Facing a possible death penalty, he agrees to take a plea.
In exchange for a life sentence, Maurice pleads guilty to murder in July of 2006.
When he is sentenced, the judge tells him, you are going to be in jail until you die. And Maurice responds to the judge with, I can't wait.
Only one thing is certain. No amount of prison time can bring closure to those who loved Olamide.
She was a beautiful young woman with a bright future. Taken senselessly by someone who couldn't control his own behavior.
She was just months away from graduation, from moving forward to her dreams of becoming a doctor, but she came across the wrong person.
The intense search for the truth following the loss of Olamide Adeoye has profoundly affected her family, friends, and community, as well as all who loved her. Even in her tragic passing, we are reminded of the greatness she embodied. Her legacy will leave a lasting impact on the college town and its residents. Olamide Adeoye, a brilliant star taken from us too soon, will continue to inspire us all. Coming up on the next episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast.
She gave her heart to a man who promised her the world.
He was very nice, very charming.
He made her feel special.
She's having all these butterflies. Everything's amazing.
But their fairy tale romance will be cut short.
She was shot in the head.
They found blood all over inside the car.
Was it a robbery gone wrong?
Her cell phone and her purse were missing.
This was looking more and more like a random crime.
Or was it personal?
She had met a woman that she was in love with.
She was starting to explore her sexuality.
When phone calls go unanswered, a mother in Yonkers, New York feels an overwhelming sense of worry as she tries to reach her daughter. The sight of her daughter's car in the driveway brings an initial wave of relief. But as she approaches and takes a closer look, it reveals a tragic reality. Tune in to the next episode of the Fatal Attraction Podcast. We will see you in the next episode.